skincare. I don't know the answer because my producer does these. I'm going to guess Honey Nut Cheerios. She's giving me a kind of look, so I'm not sure that's correct, but we'll find out, won't we? All right, let's come in and meet Ray Rastelli. Ray is QVC's personal butcher, but he was a lot of other people's butchers before he was QVC's butcher. He's been in the business for 42 years, opened his first butcher shop, I believe after you and your wife were newly married and first child was on the way,
That
right?
is correct, yes.
Nice to have you here, my friend. It's a pleasure.
That first child kind of grew up in the back room of the butcher shop.
Exactly.
That's how it is, yes.
Well, we're awfully excited Ray is back with his 10-ounce ribeyes. Now, if you want a juicy steak, you want a flavorful steak, you want a tender steak, what you want is the ribeye. And I'm going to tell you, when the butcher tells you it's his favorite steak, listen, because there's a reason. When you work in the donut shop, it takes an impressive donut to turn your head. Ray, you've always told me this is your favorite steak. Tell us why.
It is. You know, we start with black Angus beef, all right? Midwestern farmers, small farmers that we've trusted for over 43 years. But what makes this the very, very best cut is the marbling that's in the steak. So I'm going to quickly take you right to the meat block because I think it's really important to understand where the ribeye comes from. Here's our prime rib, right? We all know how great a prime rib is. So look at the beautiful marbling in the prime rib. All we do is completely trim it, cut it into a beautiful 10-ounce center cut steak. And David, you'll notice here I've seasoned it because my seasoning tip is always season it 30 minutes before you're going to put it on your grill or in your broiler because you'll get it to room temperature and that seasoning will just start to melt right through that.
So the steak almost draws it in, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does. It just pulls that together, and the bit of salt that's in there actually helps to keep some of the moisture inside that steak, and it keeps it nice and moist.
And this will come with a packet of Ray's signature steak seasoning. And what you're going to love about these steaks is that these are 10 ounces. Now, for me, this is an easy meal. I'm a big guy. But I know for a lot of you out there, you're looking to maybe do portion control, or maybe it's a couple where there's only 2 of you at home now. One 10-ounce steak is 2 5-ounce servings.
Yeah, I mean...
So this could easily be a meal for 2.
Yeah, I did it here. I just cut one steak right in half, and this is easily for 2 because, again, it's 10 ounces, but it's center cut, which means, you know, we've taken all the fat off of it, right? The only thing you're going to get when you look at the beautiful moisture inside there, so look at this steak. What you see there is the marbling that's inside that ribeye,
so
right?
Good.
And I cut this a few minutes ago, but look at that moisture. That's not fat. That's beautiful taste, flavor. As you mentioned, David, the ribeye is my very, very favorite steak. Every time I go to a steakhouse with friends, they say, Ray, what steak you getting? This is the steak I get.
The ribeye.
Aged 28 days. The restaurants go crazy over this steak, and of course our guests do too.
If you ever find a ribeye with a Frenched bone on the end, I call that a steak sickle.
That's
that's a steak with a handle. All right, so but same great steak, right?
Yep, same exact steak. Yep.
Oh, Ray, you gave me some of the deckle, didn't you?
I did, yes.
The deckle is the little crown on the top of the ribeye. It is super, super tender.
It is, and tasty.
Oh my word. Give me some room. I'm going to back it up. Beep, beep, beep. And then I'm going to happy dance it out. There it is. Whoa. All these ribeyes are it. I have 3,100 sets of these to go around. They come individually wrapped and frozen when you receive them. Ray's going to show you one of those packages. I want you to think about using this as bill to ship to send a gift. I want you to think about stocking your freezer because just because this weekend is Labor Day weekend does not mean summer's over. In most areas, it doesn't even begin to get cool until sometimes October, early November.
That's right.
Depending on where you live.
Right.
I have known late falls here in Pennsylvania to still be warm well into October, sometimes early November. So this is your opportunity to keep that grill going and enjoy this great steak. But you may have seen Natalie earlier in Cook's Essentials.
Yes.
Make your ribeye and on top
right
of the stove in a skillet.
Yes, it was, and you know, you get it's like we did here, you get that beautiful caramelization on top of there because of the beautiful moisture inside this steak. And you can see it just gives you that beautiful caramelization when you actually do it on top of the skillet.
Ellie King from Lennox is over there and she's transfixed. She's watching the monitor like this. I mean, I've watched you for the last 2 minutes. You have not moved from that spot. She's just staring at these steaks on the TV. These are beautiful. They are as tender as they are delicious. Now, you're going to love that you can cook these to any doneness that you like, even when it's a more medium well, like this one is
just
there.
Like that, yeah.
You're going to find that it's still fork tender, really, really delicious, and a heavily marbled steak means a more flavorful steak because that marbling is going to melt down or render down into the steak, creating more flavor in every single bite. Where you see moisture, You see flavor in this steak.
That is so correct.
And that's what's so incredible about this. Don't miss out. Oh, hello. Hello, gorgeous. Where have you been all my life? All right. This is fantastic. Everybody be sure and pick this up. And if you're thinking about auto delivery, we're going to deliver these every 4 months for a year. These are special steaks. They're large steaks. This is a 10-ouncer. So you're looking at beautiful, beautiful Black Angus center cut ribeye. This is not anything you want to miss out on. These will stay fresh and good in our freezer how long?
For up to 12 months without any issues. And
wow.
What you're really going to love about this steak, you know, I talk about all the time about steaks being really versatile.
Steal this one from you.
This steak is to be eaten like a steak. This is a David-sized steak. It's a big steak, but what I really love about it is every bite is going to be flavorful. I call it the king of steaks because it's not only tender, but it's incredibly flavorful. The juices that come through this are just going to burst in your mouth. And if you choose to use a little bit of our seasoning, I tell you, it is absolutely just a wonderful flavor. It's a real steak.
It's almost like steak-flavored cotton candy.
There you go.
You know? It goes right in your mouth and melts on your tongue, is the point I'm trying to make.
It is, and you know, I call that...
Judy up in the control room was like, what?
That marbling inside that steak that makes this beautiful, beautiful moisture, I call that meat candy, right? Because that's really what it is. It's what makes that thing so sweet, incredibly flavorful. But when you add it and make sure it's a ribeye like this, which is Black Angus, and it's been aged for 28 days, what happens is you get the tenderness goes just along with the beautiful flavor. That comes
Judy, I don't know if you guys can shoot where I'm pointing. We're going to come over here and shoot down because, Ray, I want you to talk to us about the decal.
Yes, so the ribeye is actually made up of two muscles. So
do you see this little piece right here? The little comma-shaped piece? That's also tender, isn't it?
That is the most tenderful piece of meat on the steer, and I will tell you, it is by far the most flavorful. So it's funny because a lot of people go, well, geez, I just want the center of that steak. And I always go, Willie, I'll take the outside of that steak. You can take the inside.
I'll be glad to have you. If you don't want your decal, I'll take yours.
Yes, it really is that
because that's fantastic. Don't miss out on these. We're getting very, very busy on our phone lines, and a lot of you are loving the great Easy Pay on this tonight. 5 easy payments, but that Easy Pay will go away end of day today. Get yours now while the getting is good. We're talking about 5 payments on your credit card of just $26.49. Stock your freezer with these gorgeous steaks. And then as the summer winds down and fall begins, you're ready for autumn and great grilling and all the great food. So we wonder what was the most popular, top-selling cereal in 2018?